I now give the floor to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, allow me to commend the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and Your Excellency, Mr. Foreign Minister, for convening this timely and highly relevant debate. I also like to thank the Secretary General and distinguished briefers for the insightful remarks. Mr. President, as we mark the 80th anniversary of the signing of the United Nations Charter, we are reminded that our shared vision of international peace and sustainable development founded on respect for international law and international humanitarian law remains unfinished. Around the world, conflicts continue to erase years of progress, while structural conditions such as inequality, exclusion, and weak governments undermine the foundation of stability. These overlapping crises have hit low-income countries the hardest. Extreme poverty has become increasingly concentrated in sub-Saharan Africa and places affected by conflict and fragility, according to World Bank's data. To achieve stronger, inclusive economies and prosperous society, our policy decisions need to be guided by SDG 1, ending poverty in all its forms everywhere. Addressing the root causes of conflict by reducing poverty and inequality is one of the central pillars of Greece's commitment for global peace. Specifically, Greece has recently funded the World Foods Programme project for the restoration of Port of Benghazi in Libya, which serves as a critical entry point for food and humanitarian aid to the wider region of North Africa and the Sahel, and WHO rehabilitation project for the Al-Kahir Hospital in Gaza, a critical referral point for displaced population. Mr. President, Greece firmly believes that poverty and underdevelopment are not just development concerns, they are fundamental threats to peace and security. As outlined in the Secretary General's new agenda for peace, conflict prevention must be rooted in inclusive development, social cohesion, and institutional resilience. In this context, allow me to highlight 4 key areas of focus. First, we need to strengthen and mainstream existing approaches to address the root causes of conflict, such as poverty, food insecurity, absence of rule of law, and violent extremism. Closely interlinked, our humanitarian development and peace efforts is key to bring more efficient on the ground in conformity with the triple humanitarian development peace nexus. In this respect, the Peace-Building Commission is ideally placed to raise awareness of regional efforts, local community expertise, as well as the cross-border dimensions of conflict. We welcome its advice, which is not only valuable to us in the context of this meeting, but can also guide us in our future endeavors. For this reason, Greece, during this year's Peace-Building Architecture Review, reiterated strong support for expanding PBC's roles in regional setting and cross-cutting areas, including human rights and climate-related peace and security risks. In this respect, cooperation with the EU Commission remains crucial. Second, peace must be inclusive to be durable, in line with SDG 16 and conflict and corruption. Greece champions participatory and representative governance at all levels. The full and meaningful participation of women, youth, and marginalized communities is indispensable for creating resilient institutions and achieving long-term development goals. Third, we call for greater investment in conflict prevention and peace building. We strongly encourage all member states to agree on raising assessed contribution to meet conflict-affected countries, rising the requirements for support for the Peace Building Fund. Additionally, formalizing PBC relations with international financial institutions and regional development banks and strengthening its cooperation with ECOSOC can better operationalize its development impact on the ground. Fourth, Greece remains committed to the collective aspiration to enhance the conservation and sustainable use of oceans and their resources by implementing international law as reflected in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, in line with Target 14C of the SDGs. Mr. President, in closing, let me stress that Greece supports a rule-based global order with multilateralism as its key principle and the United Nations as its core. We remain committed to multilateralism and to a UN system that is more responsive, inclusive, and aligned with the real needs of those most at risk. Let us seize this milestone year, UN 80, as a moment to recommit to a vision of peace anchored in dignity, equity, and opportunity for all. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for the statement.